Mic check, mic check. What's going on, world? You already know it's your boy SB, and I'd like to welcome y'all back to episode 11 of season 5 of the Roll Up Podcast. As always, before we get started in today's episode, I just want to take a second to, show y'all some love by, just want to say thank you for all the love that y'all showing to the campaign via social media. I appreciate y'all using the power of word of mouth to tell everybody about the movement because the campaign going up. Numbers getting higher, reach is expanding, and it is all due to the fact of y'all doing what y'all do best by showing love to the campaign. If you haven't done so already, I would highly recommend that you subscribe to the movement on YouTube. Make sure you check out the SauceBradyExperience.com. That's the official hub of the Roll Up Podcast. Make sure you follow the Roll Up Podcast on all social media because this year is going down. Also, an extended invitation to check out the Sauce Factory. The Season 5 collection is now available, so if you want to grab some merch, the trap is open 24/7. And as a token of appreciation from me to you, you can use code TRUPOD, that's TRUPOD, to receive 30% off your order. I also have 2 books for sale right now on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. One is titled Here's the Truth. The other is titled You Deserve Better. They both are great reads, whether you first starting out on your journey or you've been on your journey for a while and you need that extra push to keep going. Both of those books will remind you of your inner greatness. I will also be starting a campaign titled Gaming with Sauce. That's where I'll live stream some of my favorite video games, and we'll also, do a Q&A so y'all can get to know me a little bit better and we could connect on an intimate level. So make sure y'all be on the lookout for that as well. So as always, y'all know I like to get straight into it. And as we get settled into this new season of our life, it's important that we understand that manifestation doesn't happen only because we speak things into existence. They happen because we do our part by putting forth consistent action towards our goals. As better put by Anthony St. Martin, actions prove who someone is, words just prove who they want to be. Don't get me wrong, speaking things into existence is very real because I've seen it happen for a lot of people close to me. But those things only came to fruition due to the fact that they put in thousands of unseen hours of work into bringing their dream into reality. And as the title of today's episode says, we got to talk the talk and we got to walk the walk. I've mentioned this in previous episodes, but action is really the secret. To sit around and do nothing that pertains to our goals and expect them to take form in the physical is completely unrealistic. But by matching words with consistent actions, you are setting yourself on a definite course to see things unfold in your favor. And when we take action towards our goals, we are showing one of the highest forms of self-love. And as I mentioned in the last season, the grass is greener where you water it. When you think about the process of tending to a garden, you see yourself on your hands and knees tending to the soil. You nurture your seeds with love, and you take the necessary steps to make sure you reap a good harvest. The same rules apply when it comes to pursuing your dreams, goals, and passions. When you tend to your business and you concentrate your energy on the work and fall in love with the process, you are tending to your garden. When you make sure the seeds you've planted are protected from outside influence, you are ensuring that in the right season, you will reap the benefits of your labor. One thing I've been seeing a lot on social media from my man Vishen Lakhiani is that the universe doesn't give us what we ask for, it gives us who we are. So it's important to understand that in order for us to receive the things that we ask for, we must do our part by putting in the work. By putting in the work and becoming who we are, not only are we signaling to the universe that we are ready, we are also confirming within ourselves that we are ready. Oftentimes, we allow ourselves to get caught up in the future that we forget to take action today. To go along with the theme of this season, taking action today is the only way to get to where we want to be tomorrow. When we think about the journey and how far we've traveled, it's important that we acknowledge the work that's been put in to get to this point. Like we touched on in the last episode, when we keep track of our progress and how far we've came, it gives us the drive to keep going. As the saying goes, to whom much is given, much is required. The trials and tribulations are going to come and go. This is law. But to have a persistent mentality and take the initiative to keep pushing, no matter how bad we are hurting, we are proving ourselves worthy of the things that we're asking for. I've noticed, even in my own journey, Oftentimes, we get so caught up in trying to prove everybody else wrong that we get caught up spending our energy worrying about the things that are no longer in our control. When we lose control of the wheel, it's hard for us to regain focus because we've let words stop us into becoming who we need to be. For example, Tom Brady didn't become the best quarterback in New England by simply saying he was the right fit for the job. He simply took it one game at a time and handled his business. Even during the most clutch moments, everybody knows as long as there's time on the clock and TB12 has time to drive down the field, anything can happen, usually in favor of his team. When asked about the remainder of the season, leading into the playoffs, he always put his focus on what was happening now, giving credit when it was due, but also encouraging his team to make the necessary adjustments to bring home the bacon. And that's what the mission is for this season of the podcast. I'm reminding you of the minor tweaks you can make to your thought process and approach to your goals to help you reach one victory at a time. And by the time we get to the end of the season, there will have been a major transition in our lives. And it only came to pass because we grew into the person we needed to be to receive those blessings. There are many factors that come into play when we think about growing into the person we need to be. And I know for me, the first course of action that I had to take in order to convince myself that it was time to get back into podcasting was investing in my mental health. One of the main ways I achieved this was by reading. Since 2017, I probably read close to 20 books. And during this time, I've tended to my garden by removing all the weeds or all the negative thoughts that I had to make room to be where I am today. By removing the unhealthy thought patterns and replace them with thoughts that could be more fruitful, I found different ways to approach the adversities in my life. The next course of action that I took was I sat down with myself and I gave myself time to let go and to show myself some grace. When we let go, we are simply acknowledging that all we are now in this moment is more than enough to get us to where we need to be. We aren't trying to fix anything. We aren't trying to multitask 90 things at one time. We are simply showing ourselves some love that will make way for our creative process. The last course of action that I took was actually putting in the work. As we touched on in the first episode, the word for 2024 is execution. I made a vow to myself that no matter what happened last year, I will always make time for the things that matter the most to me. Learning how to prioritize shows discipline and commitment to the process. It shows us areas we need to improve in, but also gives us a sense of time management. By managing our time wisely, we make a list of things to do, and as I said before, when you plan your work, you work your plan. It's also important to understand that you can't be in two places at the same time. You can't operate from a place of faith and a place of doubt at the same time. You can't have a negative thought process and expect positive results. You have to be 100% committed to the process. The one sure way to prove to yourself that you are committed is by always finding a way to take action towards your goals. If you're busy putting in work, you don't have time to second guess yourself. And like 2 Chainz said in OG Kush Diet, you're either in or you're out. I took a different route. I had to figure it out. So in closing, as we continue to press towards the mark in 2024, do your part by putting in the work. You can't cry about the results you didn't get from the work you didn't do. Don't stifle your creativity by being anxious about the future or worrying about what if everything doesn't work out. You must remain confident that your hard work is going to pay off. Again, you must have unwavering faith in your process, and only then will you find the courage to take the necessary steps to become successful. So with all that being said, I hope I said something in this episode that encourages you to not only talk the talk, but to walk the walk. And it's 2024, man. The time the bullshit has came and gone. It's time to lock in on our goals, regain the clarity needed to achieve them, and put our best foot forward every single day. Even if it's not adding content, you can always create or update your website or your resume. You can take time to yourself to meditate, pray, or whatever it is you do to stay grounded to ensure that you are preparing yourself for your number to get called. As always, it's been a pleasure to spend a little slice of time with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the movement. You can follow the campaign on social media via the Roll Up Podcast. Make sure you check out the Sauce Brady Experience YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the Sauce Factory, grab you some merch. Again, use code TRUPOD, that's TRUPOD, to receive 30% off your order. You can grab a copy of one of my 2 books, maybe both, if you're feeling frisky. it's time to get back to business, man. You already know it's your boy. Make sure y'all roll a doobie because you deserve it. Peace.